Hi everybody, today is Friday the 30th of April. Can't believe a whole nother month is gone. And we're ready for the next chapter of As Venetian Isles Turns. As you can see behind me, there's lots of progress. We're going to try and do this video a little earlier today while the crews are all on their lunch break, so it's safe for us to walk around. We're standing in front of where the new ballroom's going to be. We're going to take a look inside and we're going to show you more today than just the progress on bathrooms, because you're all tired of seeing that. Be back with you in a few minutes. So we've walked into what's going to be the social hall. Lynthia is going to pan around with the camera so you can see. You've seen from the street all these poured concrete beams. That's not the top of the building. There's actually cinder block that's going on top of that, and there'll be trusses that are going apart across where those metal ties are that I'm not sure you guys can see. So they got the scaffolding up. We've loaded all the cinder block, and they're starting to build up the walls for everything that's to come. You see the expanse of the new stage is huge. We've said that before. Also on the south side by the pool, they've put up all the scaffolding to start loading the cinder blocks and building those walls up as well. We're scheduled right now for the second week in May for the trusses to arrive, which we're very happy about because our main goal is to get the shell of the building put back together before hurricane season starts. From here, we're going to walk down into the main hallway of the clubhouse so we can see what progress has happened. Come on with me. There's been a decent amount of progress. You can start to see where rooms are going to be. We haven't talked much about card rooms or arts and crafts rooms or anything like that because they basically don't exist yet. But now the walls are starting to go up. So let's let the light adjust a little bit and come on in. Make sure it's safe. Yeah, there's just some electricians working up there. We've looked at the bathrooms before. This is the entrance to card room B, or the poker room. We'll walk down a little further. And as you look down the corridor, you can actually start seeing a corridor again to get some definition to the different rooms. This is the entrance to card room A. And on this other side, let's turn over here. This is the arts and crafts room. Finally has some walls, or where the walls are going to be. Back in the far corner over here is where the kilns are. They're going to stay in there. We're redoing the ceiling and the roof so it doesn't leak and everything, but that's all going to stay. So the card room, the arts and crafts room, doesn't have a lot of changes to it, except the nice thing is there is built-in cabinetry that's 3 foot deep that's going to go down the hallway where the sinks used to be, so that you'll actually be able to store larger things like paintings and arts and crafts rather than all those shelves we used to have. And actually, I'm not going to take a walk over there now because it's kind of dangerous. But the sinks are not going to be where they are. They're going to be back in that corner where all the storage was that was really not accessible. And they're very big sinks, very large and deep sinks, not like what used to be there. This way you have lots more space that's functional for storage of things. We'll come back to this as it progresses. Let's move on now to the library, because we haven't talked about that. The library is in the same place it was in, right here. It has beautiful built-in bookcases and everything and lots of detail, which was in the brochure, but it is on the first floor. It's not upstairs. And then right behind us, when you come out of the library, this little indentation here in the wall is actually the area for a built-in case to display the arts and crafts products, trophies, things like that. So rather than having those jewelry display cases that we used to have spattered all over the building, we now have built-ins here. We have another one down by card room A. We have on the other side of the building, we have more of them for pickleball and tennis and the swim club and everybody else. So they're actually beautiful built-ins that are right in the wall, so you don't have all these things that look like afterthoughts anymore. Let's continue on to the main lobby, see what else has happened in here. What we're looking at right here is the staircase to go upstairs in case of an emergency, or if somebody doesn't want to use the elevator. The ceiling to that has been put in. They haven't cut the doorways through yet upstairs. We'll do that as soon as the second floor is there so nobody falls by accident. The doorway to that from the lobby over here has not been opened yet, but you can see this is going to open back to here, and that'll be the entrance to the stairway. If you pan up towards the ceiling, you can see the elevator is climbing little by little. It's getting to where it's going to be eventually. Up there, you can see the folks from Shelco working on framing out the window openings. Again, we're trying to get those windows here as quick as possible so that we're all dried in before hurricane season. Let's look at the front. Your old front doors are still here, but there's not much left of them. The transom has been made larger, and so you get the idea of how grand the new entry door is going to be. Let's go down towards the other end of the building where the gym used to be. So to my right, we don't have any partition walls yet, but that makes sense because they've had to level out the floor. The old gym floor actually had two different heights to it. It's now all been smoothed out and made level. So they will be building this partition wall soon. To the left side, you have a corridor with 4 bathrooms to service this end of the building. Then you have the billiards room past that. Lynthia, let's come this way a little bit more. Just be careful because they are working. So, as we come down this hallway, you see the indentation at the end by the doors. That's where there will be a big trophy case there for tennis and pickleball and the billiards folks, so everybody can see all their trophies. And on this side is going to be your food service area with the dining, the kitchen, and then that green mark on the wall is where they'll be cutting out for the doorway. The green mark there with the little checkerboard in the middle is where they'll be cutting an opening to get into the addition to this part of the building, which is where dishwashing and access to refrigeration and things will be. Let's go out on the pool deck and see if there's anything interesting here to look at. All right. So this hasn't changed much since our last video. There is lots of work going on because they're actually closing in and attaching the building to the new addition. As you can see, it gives you an idea of the space that's here. Instead of what used to be here, you basically had room in the past for those 2 round tables as you came out before you hit the swimming pool. Now clearly there's a lot more room. There will be an area for dining all the way up to that area, and all of this down here will actually go out further towards the pool. So there's lots of seating for people if they want to eat inside or outside, if they want sun, if they want shade. So that's vastly improved from a functionality perspective. Let's shut this off and go take a look at the fitness center. All right, we crept up the stairs carefully. There are construction workers all around us, but we wanted to give you a peek at what it's going to look from the second floor outside. The doors and windows and things aren't in yet, but you get an idea of how beautiful the space is going to be when it's finished. The view of the lake, sunrise, sunset, and things like that. It will come together a lot better once it's finished, but we know everybody's anxious to visualize what it's going to look like. We'll check back in with you when we get back down the stairs.